afternoon. Our lesson today has something to do with PEST SWOT strategies. Before we start our class, let's have our class objectives, which include to identify the PEST and SWOT strategies and to analyze the various forces and elements influencing the local and international business environment using the PEST and SWOT strategies. Let's begin our discussion with the organizational environments. Generally, there are two types of organizational environments, which include the internal environment that refers to the institution itself, the situations, activities, people, and company values and culture, and business processes and other events within the company that influence the management choices and the way the floor is run. So when we talk about the internal environment, we are talking about the business itself, the environment that is inside or within the organization is what we call internal environment. So pag sinabi natin kung internal environment, we are talking about the people, the processes, the culture, or the kind of environment that is created within the organization. Ito sa mismo loob. Kasi diba, every organization or business establishment is unique in such a way that they have their own social norms, they have their own culture, or they have their own environment. So sa loob po yan, kung paano mag-interact ng mga tao, paano sila magplano, ano yung kanilang mga shared values, mission, vision, and all. Yun po yung tinatawag natin internal environment. On the other hand, we also have the external environment now, which refers to the factors or elements that surround an organization. And these may threaten or weaken the organization's operations. So ito naman ngayon yung nasa labas na ng organization, isang business establishment, which is to some extent beyond our control. Okay. So external environment is subdivided into two layers. We have the general and the task environment. So when we talk about the general environment, we are referring to the broad or uncertain aspects of the organization's surroundings that may have an impact on organization's activities, and this could be brought about by the political or legal dimensions. When we talk about the political or legal dimensions, we're talking about the government and the laws, the standards, the guidelines, the rules and regulations that the government set. Political, legal dimensions. This can also be influenced by economic dimensions of elements, which has something to do with the production, the distribution of goods, as well as the consumption of goods. So ito po yung pagdalaw na ng mga produkto sa merkado, wherein the production, we cannot control the aspects or factors that will possibly affect production, like the supplies, costing, etc., as well as the distribution. So when products and goods are distributed, and when the products or goods go out of business establishment or organization, and we cannot control kung paano po yung mga problema or challenges that would be experienced by our distributors. At ito rin po yung sa consumption. Siyempre, hindi naman natin alam if our products will be bought or will be supported by our consumers or our customers. Kasama niya sa economic dimensions and elements outside the organization or the business environment. The other factor is the social-cultural dimension or elements, which has something to do with the demographics. Sabihin yan yung mga characteristics o yung mga klase ng consumers na tinatarget natin. This could also be affected by the statistics, particularly the trend analysis. What does the trend say about your business? Yung bang product or service that you offer is still relevant. So yun po yung tinatawag natin socio-cultural dimensions. The next is the technological dimensions or elements. Okay, every business organization, every organization also needs some form of technology. And along with the technology is your research. Kaya meron silang tie-up na yung industry natin. Ano ba yung kayang or kayang i-produce ng ating industry in terms of the technological needs of businesses, and how can the academe help in such production. So ang focus ng ating academe is more on the research, while the industry is more on the production. And the last is international dimensions, which has something to do with competition. So is can your organization compete with the global market? So yun po yung ibig sabihin ng international dimension or element that would possibly affect the external business environment. Now we move to the task environment. Kanina yung discuss natin are the 5 elements covering or that could possibly affect the general environment. Now we are going to deal with the task environment. So when we talk about the task environment, this refers to the different sectors that closely interface with the organization. When we say closely interface, these are the sectors that closely interact or closely affect, influence the organization. These sectors normally influence the daily operations of an organization, and they are much likely to create impact o yung matinding influensya sa kumpanya, especially sa kanyang pang-araw-araw na activities. So, sino-sino o ano-ano yung mga sinasabi nating part of the or sectors that affect the task environment. The first are the competitors. Okay? The competitors are the other companies that manage businesses similar to the specific company. For instance, yung sa Jollibee, McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, these are all competitors. Why? Because they are companies managing the same or similar businesses, which is fast food, catering to burger and fries, burger fries or burger fast food items as their primary products. A company's competitors provide customers options to choose from. Alam niyo naman kapag mayroong competition, syempre ganito na yan, nagpapasarapan, nagpapababaan ng presyo, nagpapagandahan ng packaging, ng promos. So dahil doon, nagkakaroon ngayon ng maraming options ang ating mga consumers or customers. So they are part of the task environment which we cannot control. Hindi natin kasi pwedeng diktahan kung ano ang i-offer lang o kung ano lang yung pwedeng ipag-promo ng isa nating kakompetensya. The other sectors that could possibly affect the task environment are the regulators. So who are the regulators? They are the regulating units or agencies exercising control over the business or using authority to control, regulate, or influence the company's policies and practices. So these are the government agencies or pwede naman mga non-government organizations na tumutulong para ma-regulate yung ating mga task o mga ginagawa sa isang opisina o sa isang business o sa isang organization. For example, yung DOLE, so they set regulations in terms of the implementations of the labor laws. Yung DTI naman, they set regulations in terms of operating the business that it should be registered first. So, nandiyan yung munisipyo for your business permit, FDA para ma-register yung pagkain, yung halal, yung mga ganyan. These are all examples of the regulators. No? Sila yung mga nag-implement ng mga pang-control, pang-regulate, o pang-influence sa mga policies and practices that are implemented inside the organization or the business. The third sectors are the consumers. So, ito yung mga mamimili. They are the people who pay for a product or the service. And their patronage, their support, is essential to the company's generation of income and profit. Pag walang consumers, walang kita, magsasara. Pag mas gusto ng consumers yung paninda mo, syempre tataas ang sales, lalago ang kumpanya mo. So, yan yung business. So, yun, ganun ka-crucial ang role na ginagampanan natin mga consumers or customers. The last sector are the strategic planners. So, they are the ones who become or serve as the company's formal alliances for long-term partnership. But the legal status or formal, but within the legal status or formal contract signing. So ito naman ngayon yung mga ina-outsource o kinukuha natin mga serbisyo sa labas. Sila yung tumutulong halimbawa sa marketing, sa paggawa ng mga strategic plans, sa pagsaset ng mga realistic goals. So yan yung mga tinatawag natin strategic planners or simply the consultants. But their partnership with the organization must be made formal and legal via contract signing. Next is when we do the PEST and the SWOT analysis, we have to do environmental scanning, and we can use several models or guides in doing environmental scanning. The first one is the model of population ecology, which is centered on the populations or groups and presents the view that management has little control over the environmental factors surrounding the organization. So, ang pinagagamitan niya ngayon, ang focus ng model of population ecology is the population that you are targeting. Remember that when you do product positioning, it must be very clear to you, to your mind, to your group, or to the company, ano o sino sa mga sektor ng populasyon ang tinatarget ninyo na maservisyo. Yun ang focus ng model of population ecology. And it highlights or it emphasizes that the population is an aspect of the environment that you cannot really control. Mahirap kontrolin yung populasyon na gusto natin targetin. The second model is the resource dependence model, which explains that organizations largely depend on the environment to accumulate resources. So ito yung mga raw materials na ginagamit natin, mga tauhan na ini-employ natin, mga makinarya na ginagamit natin sa production. So dependent daw tayo sa environment. Resource dependence model. Remember kanina, ang sabi natin doon sa population, sa una nating model, population, nakasentro tayo sa tao, sa consumers. This one, ang sentro naman natin, ang focus ay yung resources. That in order for an organization to thrive, it must recognize the importance of the environment in accumulating resources. But the managers must make attempts to decrease this kind of dependence. So, gusto natin maging dependent dun sa populasyon na gusto nating servisyo. So now we proceed to our main lesson, which is the SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for the acronym wherein S is the strengths, W refers to the weakness, O means opportunities, and T are threats. So the SWOT analysis method determines the company's strong and weak points, which are usually found in the internal environment, and the prospects and hazards, which are determined or identified in the external environment. Kaya natin unang inaral ano ang pagkakaiba ng internal sa external environment. And these four may may influence or adversely affect the business operations. Although nowadays, ang ginawa na nila kasi binaliktad na nila to, instead of SWOT, wherein we focus first on our strength followed by the weaknesses, they are now using the reverse version, which is POST, wherein the analysis starts with the threats and the opportunities. The external environment muna yung focus bago hanapin kung ano yung weakness at ano yung strength ko bago mag-focus sa internal environment. So that's the SWOT analysis or the POST analysis. Do not be confused. They are just the same analysis. The only difference is that yung focus o yung inuna natin a matter of priority when we do the analysis. So SWOT starts with the strength, POST starts with the threats. SWOT starts with the internal environment or internal factors, while POST start with the external factors affecting the business operations. Let's begin with the strengths. When you do the SWOT analysis and you decide to use the SWOT instead of POST, you begin with the analysis of your strength. Ano yung meron ka? So, ang tanong mo ngayon sa sarili mo, in order to identify the strengths of your company, would be, what advantages does the company have over the competitors? Yung kalaban lagi ang tatapatan. Yung bang iyong product is offering lower price, lower costing? Do you have better set of employees compared to your competitors? Do you have well-trained employees in comparison with your competitors? Do you have better customer service? Do you have larger market share? Do you have stronger leadership? So, mas may integridad ba yung produkto mo? Hindi na ba kayo nagkaroon ng issue in the past? Wala ka bang standing na case? Hindi ka ba na-demanda? Wala ka bang mga paglabag sa environmental laws, etc. So, yun po yung integrity. Wala bang nalason na? O wala ka bang issue na nagbebenta pa rin kayo ng expired? Meron kang mga tax evasion cases? So, yun po yung sa integrity. So those are the strengths. You are going to look at these factors, at these elements when you want to identify the strength of your company or your product or your organization. The next would be your weakness. Anong tanong natin ngayon? What internal shortcomings or problems does the company have compared with the competitors? So these are the aspects that you would be looking into, closely looking into. Marketing. May problema ka ba sa marketing? Baka naman hanggang ngayon, hindi pa kilala yung produkto mo. Hindi ka pa sikat. Resources. Do you have stable source? Stable group of suppliers? Yan. Are you new to the industry? If you are new to the industry at ang babangkain mo ay mga malalaking kumpanya, how do you intend to make the people know your existence, your product? Baka naman masyadong mataas yung presyo mo kasi mataas din yung production cost. Baka hindi maliwanag yung positioning. Pag sinabi natin positioning, sino ba talaga sa populasyon ang tinatarget mo? Unclear positioning. Anong age bracket? Anong group? Millennials ba yan? Children? Yung mga Generation Z? Mga baby boomers? Mga senior citizen ba yan? Mga toddlers? Working mothers? Sino yung tinatarget mo na mga magiging kliyente mo? X is the opportunities. In every problem comes opportunities. Ano ngayon ang hinahanap natin? So remember that SWOT, or the strength and weakness, deals with the identification of the internal factors that could possibly affect the business operations, while opportunities and threats deal with the external business endeavors or factors that could possibly affect your operations. So, ang hahanapin natin ngayon dito, what external business developments may be useful to the company. May be useful, ha? Useful to the company. Ano meron sa labas ang pwedeng mapakinabangan ng iyong kumpanya? Meron bang fad o yung mga puso? Pwede mo bang sabayan yun? Baka pag ngayon, uso milk tea, sunod-sunod na yung mga nagtayo ng milk tea. Dati, uso yung mga fries, yung mga kakombo, sunod-sunod na rin ang nagbenta ng fries. Nauso yung online selling, live selling, iba't iba na rin mga tao ang live selling ngayon. So, yun yung fad o yung uso na papanahon. Pwede mo bang sakyan yung isang phenomenon katulad ng nangyari sa atin ngayon, COVID-19? Dahil naisip mo, kailangan ng support sa health. So, nag-angkat mo ngayon ng maraming mga face mask, maraming mga alcohol, PPE, sinabayan mo yung phenomenon. Kung ikaw naman ay nasa aspect ng technology, o sinabayan mo ngayon yung pagdami ng mga kailangan ng mga gadgets, katulad ng laptop, cellphones, ano pa, yung AXI. Dahil sumikat si AXI, nakita mo yung potential na may mga ilangan ng laptop again, cellphones, o kaya naman ay ikaw ay investor, bili ka ng maraming AXI team, pinaskolar mo. So yan, ang sinakyan natin ay yung phenomenon as the opportunity to improve business operations. Basic needs, ito yung hindi mawawala. Kaya ngayon, pag tayo, di ba, karaniwan sa mga businesses ay food. Kasi that's the most basic need of people. Pagkain. Ano pa? Mga nagtitinda ng damit. Ngayon, nag-boom ang construction. Kasi nga, shelter is one of the basic needs of the people. So, yan, sasakyan yung basic needs ng tao. Yung pag-shift natin to online modality. Yan yun, di ba? Ito yung sinamantala ng dito. DITO, when they proposed to be one of the internet providers during the Philippines. Dati kasi meron na tayong Globe, LTT Smart, so ngayon meron ng pang-apat na telco na papasok because of our need to shift to the online modality. As a result, as one of the results of the COVID-19 pandemic. Anyway, ito na rin naman talaga yung trend. Dito tayo papunta. Online transactions. Yan. Punta naman tayo ngayon sa tinatawag nating threats. So, threats now refer to the events or the situations outside the company which may adversely affect our business. So, ano-ano kaya yung mga events na yun o sitwasyon na nasa labas ng kumpanya hindi natin talaga makokontrol. Una yung competition and pricing. Like what I've said earlier, you cannot dictate your competitor to give higher price. Sabihin mo, Jollibee, mas mataas naman nga yung ibigay mong presyo at nang makabenta ako. Hindi mo yun pwedeng i-dicta sa iyong competitor. Hindi mo rin pwedeng sabihan yung supplier mo na babaan naman yung presyo sa iyo. Kasi ito, they are also engaging in business in order for them to earn profit, diba? At yung kinukuhanan nila ng mga raw materials kaysa iyo ay posible rin na nagtataas ng presyo, especially kung yan ay nanggagaling pa outsourcing ay international, tulad ng mga oil products natin, gasoline-based products. Pag nagtaas sa international market, wala tayong choice kung taas din yung presyo ng gasolina at crudo, hindi Pilipinas. Talent loss. So yan, yung isang napakahusay mong marketing head na pirata ng ibang kumpanya. Kung hindi man na pirata, worst ay namatay sa sakit o sa aksidente o kaya nag-retire, ayaw na magtrabaho. Kaya ang galing-galing pa naman niya. So yan, talent loss. Ang minsan isa sa mga pinakamahirap hanapin ay yung tao na magsusupervise o magpapatakbo yung negosyo. O may mga dumadating ngayon, new market entries or market players. Yung mga bagong dumadating na mga pagbubukas ng negosyo, promising better service o better product quality na syempre nagpapakilala pa lang, mas maganda talaga yung ibigay. So, posibleng ito ay maging dahilan para na o maapektuhan yung proseso o yung management of your company or business. Pricing and costing. Pag nilalagay naman natin yung presyo dun sa ating service or product and supplies. Weather. Yan. So, ito, isa sa mga pinakamahirap tungkulin. You are a restaurant manager na ang pangunahan ito are highland vegetables, chop suey, ganyan, ising, tapos biglang nagkakaroon ng andap, nagkakaroon ng lakas ng ulan, mataas na gusto ang temperature sa Baguio, nagkakaroon ng mga landslides and all, so tataas na yun ang presyo. Paano ngayon ang gagawin mo? Kailangan mo magtaas ng presyo mo. So, posible na maapektuhan yan yung klase ng consumers or customers na dati kang tinatapilin. Baka lumipat sila sa mas mababa ang presyo. And of course, the one that we are experiencing nowadays, COVID-19 or pandemic, this is one phenomenon na talagang mahihirapan tayo sabayan. Kaya diba, maraming mga kumpanya, maraming mga negosyo ang nagsara during the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fortunately, unti-unti nakakabangan na sila. So, yan yung ating SWOT analysis. Here is an example of how SWOT analysis is done. And this is the SWOT analysis of a coffee shop. So, ayan yung kanyang pinagtuunan ng kanyang pag-identify ng strength. Meron siyang product. They offer high-grade Arabica coffee, price, packaging, atmosphere, and the location. Yun yung na-identify na strength. In terms of weakness, dahil coffee shop siya, alam naman natin ang coffee shop, nagsusulputan na lang din kung saan-saang sulok, so marami raw siyang kakompetensya. Kaya, merong less popular yung kanyang brand. Yung setup niya dahil nagsisimula pa lang siya, kailangan ayusin para magkaroon ng para magkaroon siya ng tema. Yung organizational niya, nakita rin niyang may weakness dahil kailangan niya mag-train ng mga tao to handle operations. Kulang siya ng pondo at kulang ng experience bilang bagong negosyante pa lang. So, ang kanya ngayong opportunities, dahil bago pa lang siya, nakikita niyang malaki yung potential niya to expand. Okay? At meron siyang, posibleng makagawa siya ng niche niya sa market. Yan, yung mga mahihilig magsipagkape. Minsan kasi yung pagkakape ay nagiging status symbol na rin. And maganda yung kanyang business model which is open for franchising. Ang weakness niya ngayon, katulad kanina, ang threat niya, kasi minsan nagkakahawig yung threat at saka yung weakness. Ang nagiging threat sa business niya ay marami nga siyang popular coffee shop sa nearby. Malapit sa kanya at yun ang nagiging direct competitors niya. And yung kanyang price fluctuations. Nagtataas pa ba ang presyo ng kape na ginagamit niya? Remember, ang isa sa mga strength niya na nagiging threat din sa kanya ay yung paggamit niya ng high-grade Arabica coffee beans. So, nagkakaroon ng fluctuation na nagtataas pa ba yung presyo ng kanyang pangunahing raw material na ginagamit sa kanyang product. So, pag ito, yung main raw materials niya nagtataas pa ba, it will be difficult for the owner, the business owner, to really determine to what extent siya kumikita or to determine talaga yung kanyang price, kung magkano niya ibebenta yung kanyang. Kaya siya naging trend. Okay? So this is a sample of a SWOT analysis again on a coffee shop. Now we move on to our discussion of the second strategy, which is the PEST analysis. Medyo pangit lang pakinggan, pero hindi po yan PEST, is in PEST. P stands for political factors. So the PEST analysis centers on the factors affecting the business operations. PEST refers to P is or are the political factors. E are economic factors. Social factors naman po yung S. Technological factors po yung T. Let's talk about the political factors. The political factors refers to the laws and legislation, as well as world events or issues which may affect business now at the present or in the future. So ano-ano yung sinasakop ng political factors? Ayan po yung government type and stability. So depende yan kung ang government mo ay kung ang government o society nyo ba ay gumagamit ng economic system na capitalism, communism, o socialism. At o kung man gumagamit ng iba't ibang forms of government like democracy, federalism, communism, yan. Nakaka-apekto yun sa pagpatakbo natin ng ating negosyo. Kasi for example, in capitalism, which is known as a free enterprise, anyone can put up a business as long as meron siyang capital na nanggaling sa maayos na, nanggaling sa mabuting pamamaraan. Siyempre, legal, within the legal boundaries. While in communism, it is only the government that can put up a business. Hindi pwedeng magmay-ari ng business yung mga individual na tao kasi pinapatakbo yun ng gobyerno. So, isa yun sa mga posibleng pang-apekto sa ating negosyo. Ganun din, when tax policies are amended or implemented, katulad halimbawa yung trade law during the Philippines when it was implemented, marami ring mga business establishment ang sa unang taon ng implementation nalugi o bumaba ang sales kasi kasama sa trade law yung pagtataas ng tax sa mga sugar-based product, sa mga liquor, sa mga sigarilyo. So, nung unang taon ng implementation yan, bumaba talaga yung sales na lalo ng soft drinks kasi biglang tumaas ang presyo. And before the implementation of the trade law, trade, capital T, capital R, capital A, capital I, capital N, trade. Okay? Before the implementation of the trade law, ang presyo lang ng kasalo na Coke ay 18. So after the implementation of the trade law, 18 pesos kasalo bottle becomes 25 pesos. So there was a sudden increase of 7 pesos in the suggested retail price of the soft drinks. So imagine yung 7 piso na mababawa sa budget mo. So syempre, ang unang naging reaction ng mga tao, huwag mo nang bumili ng soft drinks, which resulted to the decrease in the sales of the soda or the soft drinks industry. Kaya yan, pwedeng maka-apekto sa pagpapatakbo natin ng business kasi maapektuhan nun yung ating sales. Alam niyo naman sa business, pag bumaba ang sales, bababa rin ang kita, malamang magsara o malugi ang negosyo. Changes in the political environment. So pag nagpapalit ng mayor, nagpapalit ng presidente, kahit kapitan, pag nagpapalit ng kapitan at hindi nyo kasundo, yan, minsan nagkakaroon tayo ng problema dyan. Regulation and the regulation trends and the levels of corruption. Kasi naapektuhan tayo ng red tape dito. Yung kailangan mong magbigay ng suhol para lang ikaw ay mabigyan ng mga favors o makapag-ayos ka ng papel ng iyong negosyo. The next is letter E, which is the economic factors, which refers to the economic factors. As this pertains now to the changes in taxation, pag-ngolekta ng tax, yung interest rate, kasi kung may utang ka, kung inutang mo lang yung kapital, posibleng biglang tumaas yung interest rate, makaka-apekto pa rin yun sa'yo. Inflation, mas mataas ang inflasyon, mas mataas ang presyo ng mga produkto o ng mga raw material, syempre magtataas ka rin ng produkto, pwede maapektuhan ng sales stock markets, consumer patronage, so kung may mga bagong na itatayong negosyo, posibleng mabawasan yung mga customers na sumusuporta sa business. Letter S now refers to the social factors. So ano naman ngayon ang social factors? These are the situations or conditions that have something to do with the social trends. Kaya kasama dyan yung buying habits ng mga tao, major changes in lifestyle or in social media. Katulad halimbawa, ngayon yung social trends na tinatawag natin, di ba katulad yung nasabi ko kanina, yung pagkakape. Minsan, dati di ba, ang nagkakape lang, talagang kuryente lang ng mga coffee shops ay yung mga senior citizen o yung mga empleyado ng panggabi. Pero eventually, naging parte siya ng parang social status. Naging status symbol siya. Kaya even the millennials, they become a part of the coffee drinkers. So, ibig sabihin, dumagdag sila sa populasyon na pwedeng tumangkilik sa isang klase ng produkto. So, yun din yung sa buying habits. So, the buying habits of the people in the times of the pandemic were greatly affected by itong loss of job o kaya naman ay yung nabawasan nilang kita. Instead of buying mga before, kasi yung hindi sila bumibili ng mga hindi naman nila before the pandemic, binibili natin kahit yung mga hindi pa naman natin kailangan. But during the pandemic, we resorted into buying only those which we really need. So, naka-apekto ngayon yun sa buying habits. Kaya yung sales ng mga damit, ganyan, sapatos, bumaba siya. Ano ang tumaas o consumption? Pagkain. Kasi yan nga ay basic, pangunahin natin produkto. Tapos, alin yung mga naging mas mabenta? Siyempre yung mas mura at pwede natin i-store o imbak. Yung mga perishable goods, madaling masira, bumaba rin yung kanilang kita. Yung mga businesses which are people-based, like restaurants, theaters, yan, bumaba rin yung kanilang naging benta, yung iba pa nga nagsara. Kasi yan, nagkaroon tayo ng problema nagkaroon tayo ng changes in our buying habits as a result of the pandemic. Major changes in lifestyle. So if your product is, you're a pork supplier, tapos nagkakaroon ng pagbabago sa lifestyle, karamihan sa mga dati mong siniservisyohan, gusto nang maging vegetarian, o bababa ng sales. And the social media. So kapag mas active, mas maganda ang social media platform, pag mas maganda ang FB page, Instagram, yan, mas nakaka-attract siya ng maraming consumers. O kaya kung aayusin mo yung lugar para maging siya ay Instagrammable, so mas nakakadagdag yun sa inyong mga consumers kasi nagkakaroon ka ng add-on. Kapag binisita yung lugar mo, pwede sila mag-picture, tapos i-post nila yung picture, nagkakaroon ka ng built-in marketing strategy o built-in marketing. When the pictures are posted, na-tag ka, tapos nalalike ng iba, nagiging curious sila doon sa lugar mo, bibisitahin. And letter E is the technological factors. So when we talk about the technological factors, these are the new development in the technology. Dati, yung sa cellphone pa lang, mula rin sa mabigat na malalaki, liit-liit, manipis, yan. Kasama yan sa mga technological discoveries, kung paano mas mabibilisin ang serbisyo. Ngayon, kahit hindi ka lumabas, pwede ka na magkaroon ng pagkain sa pamamagitan ng mga delivery app. Yung mga products na dati sa mall o sa palengke mo lang pwede puntahan, pwede mo na i-online shopping. So, research, kasama dyan yung market research. And the universal means of communication. The advent of the internet has greatly affected how we do how we live our lives nowadays. All the transactions are internet-based. May magaganda at meron din namang hindi magagandang epekto. So kasama yan sa technological factors that can affect our business using or when we do the PEST analysis. The PEST analysis has its modification, which is known as the PESTEL analysis. So what were added are the letters of E and L, where E refers to the environmental factors and L refers to the legal factors. So when we talk about the environmental factors, again, ito yung nabanggit na natin kanina, doon sa ating threats, kasama din yung weather conditions, bagyo, sobrang taas. May bagyo, may mga La Nina, El Nino, sobrang lamig, climate, environmental policies. Paano kung ikaw pala ang pangunahin ng produkto ay yung mga wood-based products. So hindi ka naman po ang gagamitin mo syempre as raw materials are woods. Tapos bigla nagbaba ng memo ang DNR na bawal munang magputol ng mga puno. Yun, pwede siyang maka-apekto sa production mo. Climate change, of course, if your location before hindi binabaha, pagkalipas lang ng ilang taon, hanggang tuhod, hanggang dibdib, hanggang hita na yung baha. So wala kang choice ngayon kung hindi mag-renovate para mas tumaas yung lugar mo. Makaka-apekto yan sa iyong business. Pressure from the NGOs, katulad nung mga tinatawag natin na mga regulations sa paggamit ng mga animals as our raw materials. So yun, pag medyo may pumapasok na mga aspeto ng NGO, nakaka-apekto rin siya sa business operations natin. Next is yung mga laws. Ayan, yung mga laws na i-implement, kasama din yung tax na sabi ko na po kanina. So you have examples like discrimination laws, antitrust laws, employment laws, copyright and patent laws. Kung ikaw ay may nakamukha ng disenyo, na pagnakaw ng design, nagnakaw ng recipe, so kasama yan. Health and safety, syempre yung occupational health and hazard, safety practices, kailangan binabantayan yan when you do your business. OHSP, Occupational Health and Safety Procedures. Katulad halimbawa, kung nasa restaurant business ka, syempre dapat lagi tuyo ang sahig, meron kang fire extinguisher, meron kang mga medical kit for burns, o kasama yan sa OHSP na tinatawag po. So, ayan po. Here is another example of the PESTEL analysis, again, of a coffee shop. We have the political. Sabi niya yung political. Coffee beans are grown in developing countries. Discussions around work conditions, child labor. So, may yung pinanggagalingan pala ng coffee beans mo ay may mga issue tungkol sa child labor. So, posibleng magkaroon din ng problema sa iyo. Yung mga tariffs and taxes. Okay? In terms of the economic factors that could possibly affect your business, meron kang economic recession noong 2008 pa no? Meron tayo ngayon sa COVID-19 natin. No? Social and cultural, people spend more and more money on coffee. So sabi mo dahil ito ay parang nagiging trend ngayon, may posibilidad na bumili ng maraming bumili kasi nagiging parte na siya ng cultural practice or cultural environment of the place where you intend to put up your business. Technological, so meron ng mas mura at mas magagandang coffee machines na pwede mong mabili. Environmental, coffee industry have concerned about the way coffee beans are produced. So yung supply ng posibleng kuhanan mo ng mga raw materials mo, tinitingnan mo kung meron ka mo problema. Legal, naka-integrate na ito, kaya sabi na si political, tariffs and taxes are within the legal boundaries. So yan po yung example ng PEST analysis. Let me just give you a wrap up. Let's do the similarities and differences between the SWOT and the PEST analysis. So the distinguishing factor of SWOT is that it deals with an idea, a business unit, or a proposal, wherein the PEST naman provides a more relevant scheme to assess complex and more intricate business intentions or propositions. Bakit siya naging mas intricate but mas in details? Kasi mas nakafocus ang PEST or PESTL analysis sa external factors that affect the business. And the PEST can be done after the SWOT analysis. Kasi ito, nakafocus ka sa internal halos. Konti lang yung tinututukan mo sa external, dalawa lang. Opportunities at saka yung threats. Whereas the PESTL analysis, ang dami yung tinitingnan na aspekto. Kaya mas mabuti kung gagamitin mo silang dalawa. Kung unahin si SWOT, isusunod si PEST o si PESTL analysis. Ano naman yung kanilang similarities? So both strategies are highly useful in environmental scanning and in decision making, whether you are going to put up the business or no. Whether you are going to expand or open another branch or not. The second is that both methods, both strategies can help you achieve the results, almost the same results of unearthing or discovering the strongest and weakest factors of your business or your yung tinatarget mong maging negosyo mo or business proposal. The results of the PEST and the PEST may be useful or helpful to SWOT and vice versa. In order for you to have a better sense of whatever could possibly happen to your business, mas mabuting gawin pareho. SWOT at saka PEST. Mahalagang alam mo yung strength mo at alam mo yung nangyayari sa labas ng kumpanya para mas guided ka in your decision making. So, that's the end of our lesson. Alam niyo naman kapag matapos na ang ating discussion, lagi tayong ginagawang mga tasks or activities. So, you will be performing 2 tasks for this lesson. The first is you are going to analyze the current business environments of the company, DET. Using the SWOT model, you're going to make your own report about the DET's strengths and weaknesses and its external environment or the opportunities and threats. Analyze what opportunities are open for DET and what are the threats to the corporation. Here is your situation. DET's corporation manufactures leather, shoes, and synthetic leather. Tapos ayan, like wallets. It has been in the operation for the last 15 years. It has regular clients, kasama yung mga major department stores and shopping malls. Recently, DET experienced a great manpower turnover. Nawalan siya ng mga employees, with 20% of its total number of employees transferring, lumipat sa new shoe manufacturing company, and that triggered demotivation. Yung mga natitira niyang mga tauhan na parang na-demotivate, nawalan ng kumpiyansa, o parang ano bang tawag? Hindi naman natin sasabihin tinamad, gano'n. Parang gano'n na nga rin na meron. No? Kaya si DET, production was greatly affected. Kasi nga, demotivated, tinatamad, parang ayaw na magtrabaho, bumaba ang production. On top of that, the new company utilizes more modern machinery that doubles production output. So, mas magaganda ang makinarya ng bago niyang kumpanya. One ng bagong kumpanya ng kanyang competitor. One other situation that occurred was the establishment of a new business venture adjacent to BET. So may nagtayo pang isang nagbukas na bagong tindahan ng sapatos o production ng sapatos malapit lang sa kanilang lugar, which offers more leather products. Siya kasi sapatos at saka wallet. Yung bagong tayo, meron pang keychains, meron pang mga purses or bags. But despite these setbacks, customers still patronize Beauty for their products' durability and quality. So, ayan. Nandyan, nakasama dyan yung strength niya, weakness, opportunities, at saka threats. Hahanapin nyo lang isa-isa gamit ito pong format na to. So you have a table for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And you will be graded using this rubric. Please take time to read it to read it yourself or on your own. But the focus is on the SWOT content. On the presentation, you will just have to write it in your notebook. And grammar po, tingnan po yung grammar at saka yung punctuation use nyo. And the identification of the recommendations or you could give recommendations, identify opportunities and threats. You are also going to do task 2, which is the PEST analysis. This time, ang gagawin nyo naman po ay PEST analysis of the same corporation, the BET. You have this rubric which focus on ano yung nakita niyong political factors that could possibly affect BET, economic factors. Ang gamitin niyo po ay yung kasalukuyan. Ang gagamitin niyo po sa PEST scan or sa PEST analysis ay yung current situation na meron tayo ngayon. Okay? Economic factors, social factors, and their technological factors. Kung gusto niyo pong idagdag as an add-on yung environmental at saka legal factors, you are very much welcome. Siyempre, the more effort you give, the better grades that you will receive. By the way, you have to do research, and when you do research, in order to do the PESTEL analysis, make sure to cite the sources of your the data that you've searched para po hindi tayo we can properly document the sources and acknowledge the authors or the sources of your data that you used in your task 1 and task 2. So the submission of this output will be posted in the Google Classroom. Make sure to write or to follow the instructions as stated in the Google Classroom. If you have other confusions or if there are some tasks, some parts of this lesson which are unclear to you, please feel free to send me a message in my personal messenger account or leave a comment, leave a message in our Google Classroom using your own account as student. That would be all. Thank you for staying with me, and please stay healthy, stay safe. Goodbye.